When it comes to running, often the hardest part is just getting out the door. So anything that slows down that process is generally a bad thing. But priming your body for a run can make a big difference to the effectiveness of that run. Today, we're going to take a look at what we do to get ready for a run and what you should actually do. Spoiler alert, they're not the same thing. We never said we were perfect. It's been proven that a good warm-up will dramatically improve your run performance. But let's be honest. If we start this video with, you should jog gently for 10 to 15 minutes and then you should do these 10 exercises and stretches before you start a run, you're probably just going to switch off. I mean, maybe you do that on race day, but let's be honest, if you had to do that every run, it would probably take up half of the time you've allocated in your busy schedule just to get the actual run done. It's just not practical. So today we're going to show you some things you can do while you're getting dressed for that run, while you're walking to the car, while you're maybe waiting for your watch to link to those satellites in the sky. But first, I thought I'd ask my colleagues what they do before their runs.
There's a lot of checking the weather app to time my run with the nice weather, and then I still have to work out what that temperature's like, and then I step out the door and realise I need more layers and go back and get more clothes to put on before I head out.
Well, I don't know, how complicated does it need to be? I tie my shoelaces up, wiggle my ankles a few times, start my watch, and I go to the toilet. Oi, leave me to it.
I generally do the same as Mark. Glass of water, bathroom trip, and yeah, make sure I've got some poo bags on me. For the dog, I run with the dog. As I said, we're not perfect. We pretty much all just hit go on our watches and start running. But the reality is, we'd be better off if we spent a few minutes not running before we started running. While we may lose a kilometre or so of our total running time, especially if we time crunched, the reality is the kilometres that we did do would be that much more effective and less likely to cause injury. So here's a quick rundown of a few things you can do as you're heading out the door for your next run to get you ready for that run. First, open up those hips. The muscles around the hips are very important for your run, specifically the hip flexors and the glutes. They provide the drive that drives your leg forward on the recovery phase, but also drive you forward with each step. So it's worth your time opening them up before every run. And here's a couple of ways you can do that. So when you finish work, especially if you've been sitting at a desk, start by opening up your hips using your table. So a table stretch is pretty simple. You put your foot up on the table and then you just rock forward and you should feel it open up here on your hip. And then swap and do the other leg and step forward off your toes and feel it open up those hips. This is important to do any time of the day, but particularly before you go for a run. Something else you can do to open up those hips before you go for a run, or actually at any time of the day, you should probably do them at least once a day, is mountain climbers. These definitely help open up that whole hip complex. So down in a push-up position, and then you're gonna lift your foot up to next to your hand and hold it for a couple of seconds, and then repeat on the other side. And you should do this every day, but particularly before a run. You don't actually want to do too much static stretching before a run. In fact, static stretching has been shown to decrease your power output in high power efforts immediately after. But you're a triathlete, so you aren't sprinting. Still, static stretching is best done on warm muscles and not just before a run. Dynamic stretching, however, is very beneficial. This basically is using movement to go through a full range of motion. Before you run, you can swing your legs from side to side, perhaps whilst waiting for that GPS signal. Or swing your legs from front and back. You'll probably still be waiting for that GPS signal. You can rock on your ankles to loosen up your ankles and the lower legs. Or you can do lunges. Done without weights, these are somewhere between strength and dynamic stretching, but they are very good for waking up the muscles that you need to run well. And you can do them forward or sideways, or both. You want to activate your core before you go out running. Your core provides that balance and that control for your torso rotation as you run. And you need to be activated and fired up so that it actually controls you and provides a stable stance for your run. Now, there are various prone activities you can do to switch on your core, such as sit-ups and planks and oblique crunches. But the best thing for running is actually a torso rotational drill. So basically you put your hands on either side of your head and then lift your knee alternately to your alternate elbow, and repeat this on the other side as you progress forward. A great warm-up and activator is some skipping, not the Little Red Riding Hood type skipping, although that will actually probably help a bit. Think more like Usain Bolt. Drive the hip and knee up, little hop on the trailing leg, and then repeat on the other side. And then you just start running. We hope this video helps and makes you feel amazing for the first kilometer of your next run. We've made this video quite light-hearted, but these exercises are actually legit and quite effective at warming you up for your next run. You should feel pretty good in your first kilometer if you've done this very basic warm-up. We can't guarantee how long you'll feel good for, that's pretty much dependent on your fitness, but at least you can start your run well. Good luck and happy running.
Oh, hi there.
I wonder what you're doing then.
Just filming in the toilet.
Squatting in the toilet.
I'm about to do that in a second. We'll get to have it.